the same one.
Whoa, rocks, they're not my friends. Yeah,
we're just going to stop for a minute here, guys.
Every day.
Keep on coming.
They're just uncomfortable, yeah.
Yeah, we need a break.
Your feet feeling okay?
Woo! Yeah! We feel amazing! I was literally
Somebody was like, no. If I had shoes on, it'd be better. I'll get those shoes on one shoes. Keep on coming, you guys.
Hands turn around.
Keep on, keep it on.
Oh, I'm gonna get another one.
Hey, Zach, why don't you come here closer?
Yeah, I hate that.
Hold on.
Well, guys, thank you so much for walking with us today. Make a round of a little noise for yourselves for sure.
Sorry, guys. So you guys, this walk is phenomenal, not only because of today, but because of how many of you guys, for one, have made more than one walk today. And I want to thank you guys that walked with us more than a year ago, that came with us and walked this mile. The whole idea of these things is not to do something spectacular, though this is spectacular in my eyes. This is awesome. But to realize that, sometimes making change, sometimes reaching people is really just a matter of, of your commitment to it, of your decision to do simple things. You can't necessarily do this every day. You sure can't do it every week. Maybe you can. There's little things that we do that we don't even think about that are ways we can reach other people. I was going to do something a little different, and I'm going to try and not be too slow about it. But one of the things that we've been really inspired by over the last few years was the stories that people told us and the people that we met since we took a trip to Africa. And what we saw in Africa was an incredible need from our generation of people, from people that are peers, their kids. And last year, the goal was to help give shoes. And through the walks, many of you guys, thousands of people, bought Tom's shoes. One pair of shoes meant a pair that was donated. I see a pair right here. This is the new Great Divide shoe. Every pair of these Toms meant a shoe was donated. So we wanted to talk to you guys about starting simple. And incredibly, last November, after doing the first 48 walks, we flew to Africa and said we're gonna make our second trip because we want to make sure you guys see and that we all recognize that those single pairs of shoes and those walks that we took really did make a difference. And we sat there in schools and orphanages and little villages and literally put these shoes on kids' feet. And it's really easy to feel like it's so far away. And so I was just gonna try and be quick. And I'm going to read you guys a short passage about one of the groups that we met with. This is from this book that we wrote. It's called Take the Walk, and it's coming out. You can get it in November, but you can buy it today, and it raises money for 5 really good causes. Help drill wells, to help build a school, to help provide a pair of shoes, to help provide access to medicine for HIV-positive mothers, or to provide the medicine that they need to keep their kids from transmitting the HIV virus. What you guys are doing today in walking is giving $1 for each person that shows up. Everybody here, you guys are making an impact just by showing up. And when we finish the walk, you can decide which one of those 5 you want to make your mile count for. But this walk is what's doing real amazing things. I'm going to stop for a second. I might not be able to.
Okay, so I'm going to try and read you guys just a little piece. When we visited with Tom's Shoes, we delivered shoes at school after school, and orphanages. And one of the groups that we met with was a orphanage called Mother of Peace. And I'm going to just read you guys a short piece of this. So, we handed out shoes and we spent the afternoon sitting with children. This was a live-in orphanage and children ranged in ages from the infants to teenagers. It was strange to see well-nourished, chubby faces of 2-year-olds waddling through the room as we fit shoes on their feet. After we gave all these shoes, we sat playing music and made feeble attempts to try their traditional dance, which was really scary. They sang songs for us, and we tried to return the favor with a song of ours until one of the caretakers tapped us on the shoulder and said the children had to leave. We thought we lost track of time and worried that we kept them from their daily activity, but the teacher just smiled, answering, kind of shaking her head yes and no at the same time. The children did need to go back to an activity, but it wasn't the kind that we assumed. they needed to take their next round of antiretroviral drugs. Almost all of these kids were infected with HIV. We were speechless. This was an orphanage in South Africa, so children being infected with HIV shouldn't have surprised us. But these kids, they seemed unburdened, they seemed lighthearted. 2-year-olds scrambled to their feet and bounced around in the line of older kids as they waved goodbye. We'd been struck by how normal everything seemed at Mother of Peace, but we were reminded that a child living in KwaZulu-Natal, which is the area that we visited, lived with a very different definition of what normal was. This thought strikes me now. What's our definition of normal? Our definition of average is skewed. I just used the term earlier in the book when I mentioned that we are from an average American town. What we think of as normal, an average American life, is stereotyped as suburbs and strip malls, McDonald's drive-thrus and soccer practice. You know, normal stuff. So what is normal? How do we reconcile the difference in our paradigms? How do we handle the reality that includes millions of kids orphaned by disease with a death sentence on their birthright, as their birthright, many of them never reaching their 4th birthday? These thoughts sound like a dirty trick, a deliberate tug at the heartstrings designed to plant a guilt bug and sabotage your sense of well-being when you sit down to eat a juicy hamburger or fries, or kick up your feet and watch an $8 movie. But it's not. It's simply an awakening, a challenge to ourselves, whether we choose to engage or remain on the sidelines. Maybe it's a prelude to a greater future for the average American and the average African. It's not far-fetched to think that we could have a great partnership with the many young people across the ocean in Africa who are ready to learn and be empowered. The real difference can't depend on the power of guilt. You see, on that day, thanks to you guys, many people like you that walked here in Cleveland and walked all across the U.S., the average was changed because something real had happened. Now every one of those kids had shoes because a few people decided that they could walk a mile without theirs. That's to you guys. Okay, that's what you guys are doing right now, okay? This is not a demonstration for anybody else here. This is not about people looking at you. This is about you showing up. And I guarantee you, because we sat there and put shoes on kids' feet, that what you're doing today and the simple decisions you decide to make will change the world. And you know what? It doesn't matter if it changes the world overnight. All you got to do is change one. All you got to do is give one pair of shoes. So today you guys are walking a mile. How about that? We have about a half mile to go, and I want to encourage you guys again. Walk this one barefoot. It'll help you. It'll help you make a difference in this walk. And you guys are amazing. Everybody say at the top of your lungs, say, I took the walk! I took the walk! Okay, let's finish this mile already.